The Phillies had a chance to sweep the Astros, but instead we got a poor performance from Taijuan Walker. This is his final time with the Phillies or even in Major League Baseball, and a possible no-hitter for Spencer Arrighetti. All that coming up here as we recap and close out this game on PHLY Phillies podcast. After a beautiful shutout win in Game 2 behind Aaron Nola's 7 scoreless innings, we're now looking at a no-hitter for Spencer Arrighetti. What's happening? Welcome into PHLY Phillies podcast presented by Bet365. You can download the Bet365 app and use code PHLY365 when you sign up and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Today was a day the Phillies could have swept the Astros to have a great 5-game winning streak heading into the Braves series. Yet instead, as we are heading into the bottom of the 8th, we're talking about Taijuan Walker's 13 hits, 6 runs. We're talking about a possible no-hitter for Spencer Arrighetti. We're talking about Michael Mercado getting shelled. We saw Max Lazar. We've seen nothing offensively. And here we are. Quite a change from what could have been. And instead we have all these historic facts of how bad this has been. There's been some history made tonight by Taijuan for how bad his performance was today. And it leads you to wondering, is this the last time we're going to see Taijuan Walker in a Phillies uniform? Is this the last time? Some people are saying even in Major League Baseball. Is this it for Taijuan? Welcome into our friends in the chat. Nice to have you guys here as well. Let's all decompress together. Let's all figure this out together because it has not been good for Taijuan Walker. And it's almost so bad. Like, I kind of feel bad because he shouldn't be out there. And we've seen the progression of Taijuan Walker over his career. We've seen him come back from the first injury this season to then the right index finger inflammation. And here we are. Here we are now watching him completely unravel. But we've got a lot of things going on. I know Frank Barber in the chat saying, what is happening? It's a 3-home run game for Yordan Alvarez. Like, there's so much to unpack in this game. And what could have been a Christopher Sanchez start, a nice series sweep. Thankfully, Sanchez starts tomorrow versus the Braves and not Taijuan. But good Lord, Jamie.
Yeah, there was never going to be a sweep with Taijuan Walker on the hill. We all knew this was the inevitable outcome that we were going to get, and there's plenty of time for us to put the nails in the coffin of Taijuan Walker, as I do believe this is his last start here. Right now, though, I'll be honest with you. It's so comically bad that I'm cheering for the no-hitter. Is that wrong?
I don't know.
Because if you're going to suck, as I've always said, you might as well historically suck.
Be like White Sox.
Yeah, like the White Sox are like
it.
so bad, but they have 100 losses before August 28th, and that's like hilarious.
Well, it's so bad, Jamie, you're not even going to get your wish. Austin Hayes, base hit. No-hitter's been broken up.
Oh, good. You jinxed it.
I am good at that because
you did, like,
there was a
instantly.
point earlier in the game, I think it was the 3rd inning, Tyler. I said, I looked
was
at
bad.
him and I said,
And early.
If Taijuan Walker gets through 5 with less than 4 runs allowed, he probably gets another start, right? And Tyler was like, yeah, probably. Boom, fan interference, home run to the right field wall that gets, called back, and it didn't matter anyway because Taijuan stinks. But that's a shame that.
Thank you, Austin Hayes. Thank you. We appreciate you.
I was kind of pulling for the no-hitter.
I know you are. You've been saying that often.
Yeah.
Bailey Andrews is saying that's a violation, Jamie. I like the nickname that Marshawn Lynch is saying in the chat. It's more like Taijuan hitter. Am I right? But I'm bummed. I feel like that's how you typed it. But yeah, it is bad. I think it's rough because when you look at Taijuan Walker and how he finished, please, 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 all I'm hoping is do not, for Rob and his staff, look at the final 2 innings, he was scoreless. Good job. You shut him out. But we're not looking at that. We're looking at the fact you gave up 13 hits, the fact that you gave up 6 runs, the fact that you had no strikeouts, 0 Ks on the day. 0 Ks. That's
impressive.
The 7th time in his career that Taijuan Walker has started a game and had 0 Ks. That is extremely impressively bad.
You didn't have to throw the bad in there. It was just impressive.
It is just mind-boggling that we are even continuing to see Taijuan Walker. We knew this was coming, and I'm hoping this is enough for the staff to figure out moving forward. DFA him, whatever it takes, because Taijuan Walker cannot help this team right now. This team has been on a 4-game winning streak. This is what makes me the most irritated. And I actually wrote this out as my notes. What has me most irritated? Yes, the Phillies were gonna, and you could, yeah, I know it's actually in there. It's the top of my notes. What has me the most irritated?
Oh wow,
I really do.
Pretty extensive notes there.
Thank you. What do your notes look like?
I just put them all in Notion.
Yeah, no.
Our shared.
No, this is literally my notes.
Those are my
every
notes.
Show. This is what I do every show. It's like very thorough.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my notes are what you see in Notion. Yeah, that's all I got.
Totally different.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this being said, what has me most irritated is you come into this game. You know that the Phillies won the series. Great job. Zach, Aaron, Bryce, Kyle, everybody took care of it. Nick took care of business the first 2 games. You have now won 4 games in a row. You had come in today winning 9 of your last 13, being the top, having one of the best records across Major League Baseball. And you get 2 great series. You get the Royals, you get the Astros. This would be fantastic to go into the Braves series with.
Well,
but instead, it's just frustrating because I know
you were going to get a bullet in the head either way. So I'd rather it be versus the Astros, not
I don't want
versus
Taijuan at all.
Well, yes, but the reality is they're paying him handsomely to go out there and at least attempt to eat some innings. I'd rather it be versus the team that's not directly on my heels.
Well, absolutely. There was no reason
I get why they did it. I really do believe this is it. Like
I do too, and I think it needs to be it. And I hope that they actually this is it because you didn't want him game 1 tomorrow night versus the Braves series opener, 4-game series. You don't want to start that off with Taijuan. 1,000% would prefer to start that off with Christopher Sanchez.
I know Kruk and Barkan got into it last night, but bad vibes. Starting a series off with Taijuan.
Bad vibes, indeed.
I don't know if I'm too old to say vibes according to Kruk.
No, you can say vibes. Yeah, I don't care what they say. You can say vibes. Like
bad vibes to start a series with Taijuan.
Whatever you want to say, JD. Yeah. You're never too old to say things.
I supported the decision, especially after Nola was such a horse last night. That was awesome. Now and look, a lot of people were tweeting us. Some of our Discord conversation was like, "Why are you leaving him in there? Why are you leaving him in there?" And it's like, because you don't want to burn your bullpen before the Atlanta series. This is an important series coming up. One that can pretty much distance the Braves off of your ass and make it smooth sailing for the remainder of the year. So you don't want to burn your bullpen. And it's, hey, Taijuan, I know you don't have it. I know your career's probably over. But you're going to go back out there and take your lumps and pitch 2 more innings because I'm not burning the bullpen today.
Correct. And well, first of all, for Spencer Arrighetti, even though the no-hitter's over, he can still go for a complete game shutout. He still is on track for that if this continues. But also for the Phillies specifically, once Jose Alvarado, and our thoughts go to him, I know he posted on Instagram on his story a prayer. I actually was able to read the prayer since I minored in Spanish. So my Spanish linguistics knowledge kicked in that I was able to read it in Spanish. But if anybody needed to translate it into English, he was essentially like saying, asking for prayers, asking for strength in this tough time for him and his family. And, our thoughts go to him and his family right now. With him out, though, and you had to have back-to-back games. It was Strom, it was Estevez that we had to see back-to-back. Your bullpen is thin. And especially with high leverage.
Two lefties, too.
Exactly, especially with high leverage. And Jose has been the best against lefties out of your bullpen. And so without him, you do need your starting pitchers to go as far as they can into the game. And we had talked about it yesterday prior to the game of how important it is when the starting pitching is able to go 6-7 innings. That's 36 games in a row now that they've won. 30 games. 30 games in a row when the starters are able to pitch 7+ innings. It's the longest streak since 1942. Taijuan did not go 7 innings today, so it doesn't impact that streak either. But with that, they got their 13 shutout win. They keep the streak going, and you got a chance. It was Zach, it was then Aaron that were able to go deep into the game, and they took care of business. We wanted them. Go on and win yesterday for Aaron. He needed that 7 scoreless innings, to then have today be a game. It's not a throwaway game, but it's not nearly as important as tomorrow's game. When you look at the fact, as you mentioned, you have a huge series versus the Braves. You're 6 games ahead of the series ahead of the Braves as of now. Of course, that's about to change. You need to go into the Braves. They were playing the Twins. Are they?
I didn't look at the out of town scoreboard today.
So the Braves play the Twins tonight. That game starts at 7:40. Okay. So right now it's a 6-game margin. Obviously, depending on the Braves might go out and lose. Also, they did beat the Twins in the first 2 games of the series. So whatever, take that as you wish. So you do need to have a great start for tomorrow. But I think writing's on the wall in terms of Taijuan. Writing's on the wall moving forward. You don't need him.
Over.
It's got to be over.
It's unbelievable. Our buddy Absolutely Hammered tweeted out, like, for those of you that weren't old enough to experience Adam Eaton as a Philly in 2008, and I always think of that as 2007 in my mind because I didn't remember him being that bad. But then I said to Tyler as we were pulling up the player comp, I was like, oh, yeah, remember he got a ring and he got booed when he got it the next year? He was terrible in 2008. And we did the side-by-side player comp. And Adam Eaton was actually better than Taijuan Walker.
That's not good.
Adam Eaton, Aaron Harang, like there's some truly terrible names out there that Taijuan Walker's getting lumped in with in Phillies lore. So welcome to the club of Aaron Harang and Adam Eaton.
So the Adam Eaton 2000.
Are you on camera there, Oz?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Listen,
because we got the game on. I can't
stuff's
see.
falling down behind me. You can't. It looks like I'm in a dumpster.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there used to be a TV
there.
2007, he was, or 2008, he was really bad. They ended up cutting ties after 21 appearances. 2007 was actually a worse year. He made 30 starts. He was a 6.29 ERA. He threw 161 and 2/3 innings. You guys want to guess how many base runners he gave up?
Ooh.
In 161 and 2/3 innings.
Like
328.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's not that bad.
I was going to say like
it's not that bad.
168.
All right, 274.
He gave up, in 2007, he gave up 192 hits and 71 walks and 4 intentional walks. So 75 walks and 192 hits. He gave up 267 base runners in 161 innings pitched. That is a 1.627 ERA.
Ooh.
Oof.
So to be lumped into that category, something's not going very well, guys.
Well, I know we are a little bit behind, but people in the chat, Ed Wright saying, I'd rather watch him now, Amari Telemaco. You guys are
man. Amari
Telemaco.
Yeah.
Let me get some Mayude Brito.
That's a bust out, cuz.
Freddie Garcia has been dropped into the chat.
I had high hopes for Freddie Garcia.
I
was like, they're going to turn around his career. They're going to salvage him.
K-Red is saying he 1,000% supports your advocacy for the Tyler Cam.
Amari Telemaco.
Thank you.
Amari Telemaco is one of the great all-time immaculate grid answers.
Oh,
if you get his,
was he on like 9 teams?
Well, it's one of those things where you go like Phillies pitcher, and then you get like minimum 1 inning.
Yeah,
it's killer.
So Bryce Harper has popped out to Jeremy Pena. The inning is over. We're heading into the top of the 9th. I know Christian Green is mentioning in the chat, all I ask is to show up next series. I don't want to move too quickly in discussing like next series, but I will say, as much as I completely agree and think that it made sense to switch Taijuan Walker and Christopher Sanchez, nobody wanted to see this performance we're getting from Taijuan. Game 1 versus the Braves with what could be a 5-game, at most 6, it will still be a 6-game lead against the Braves going into the 4-game series. I didn't want to see Taijuan Walker against the Braves at all.
No.
But I also get nervous, and this is a safe space. I'm going to be transparent. I'm definitely nervous. The Phillies have been obviously slumping, and we've been feeling like they're slowly crawling out of the slump. And from the 2nd game against the Marlins, the National Series, they were back being unable to score against the Braves. Offense was awful. And then you have 6 runs scored against the Braves total, and then turn around and score 11 runs apiece in games 2 and 3 versus the Royals. You were starting to feel positive, like they're back. Then they come out and they start out great against the Astros. I don't want this to be a turning point in the wrong direction to get them back to that
I don't
slump.
think it is. I think the team knows.
They know. They definitely know. Just like we all know the frustrations of Taijuan Walker as Spencer Arrighetti's day is done. But this team has been struggling as is, and you don't need to add any extra struggles on top of it. So as long as they go out in the series against the Braves, take care of business, and look more like what we saw games 1 and 2 of this series, more like what we saw against the Royals, I'm fine with this as a throwaway game because you did have to get Taijuan Walker out there. He needed to get shelled in order for them to fully make the tough decision of like you can't pitch him. He can't pitch anymore.
Well, the thing with this clubhouse is a lot of these guys are vets, have been around a lot of clubhouses, seen every situation. They knew what today was, and what today was he might as well have walked out to the field with the house organist playing taps for him. Like this was a Viking funeral out to the mound today, and Bryce and JT and Trey and all those guys were firing. The fire arrows at him.
That's Star Wars.
That was way off.
Wait, wrong tune.
Taps is the
no. I wasn't going
trumpets.
Taps. I was going.
If Darth Vader walked out the Taps, he would have been way less scary.
Yeah.
Well, the movie would have been over in 10 minutes. They wouldn't have been afraid of him.
Yeah. But that's what that was. So the guys, like, that's why I don't think it's going to carry over because everybody in that clubhouse, maybe some of the younger guys are a little naive to it, but like all the vets knew this was. So I don't think it carries over is my point.
And I know Marcia said I'm worrying about the wrong thing. I'm just worried. Okay, this team doesn't have me overly optimistic.
Bats are
lately.
back.
I'm nervous.
Phillies aren't completely back.
Now you're their back, and I'm nervous. But I will say maybe my Star Wars intro was more because we have a new pitcher taking the mound, guys. All right, want to guess that pitcher?
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Boba Fett.
Who's taking the mound for the Phillies?
We said this earlier in the day. The issue's going to become when this game gets out of hand. Garrett Stubbs can't pitch.
Right, so who is it?
Because he's catching.
Oh, yeah.
Who is it?
My guess would be they probably went to
Rojas.
Rojas or Weston Wilson would be my guess.
Is that your final answer, guys?
Yeah.
Rojas
I'll go with
Wilson?
Rojas.
Rojas, that'd be interesting.
He throws
Final
hard.
answer is you become a dad, you come off paternity leave,
Weston
and you're
Wilson.
now a pitcher. We've got our right-handed pitcher, Weston Wilson, up.
Well, this will be interesting.
Let's see, he'll probably pitch better than Taijuan.
I mean, kind of hard not to. Taijuan is now throwing his splitter / changeup almost the same miles an hour as his fastball. He's done.
You guys think Johan Rojas could hit 90 from the mound?
If he was really like going for it?
Yeah, if he was trying to throw a pitch.
Because I would think in a game, he's just kind of lobbing them up there trying not to get hurt. Like,
right, yeah, he's going to throw
so,
bloopers.
like, if he actually gave it 100%
if he wound
effort,
up and gave like a full every...
I bet he would be pretty damn close.
You think he could throw 88, 90?
Yeah.
I think he could.
I bet 87, 88 easily.
So you want to hear a laugh? Is before we didn't even see it on our TV screen yet.
We're so behind here.
Westy, brand new dad, has already gotten 3 outs apparently. We're heading into this can't be real. Weston Wilson apparently got a good little arm there.
What's he throwing?
He got, I don't know what the speed is, but he got Victor Caratini on a ground out.
MLB Savant open here in front of me.
Yeah.
Okay, pitch velo.
Right?
Ready for this?
He's got a nice slide. Oh, here it is.
45, 50.6, 44.3, 43.6. 43.4. Good luck hitting that 41.7 miles an hour.
He's got 41.6
and then just ramped it up. He just threw 5 sliders in a row.
Guys, that's not a slider. That's an ephus, and they had to call it something.
Does that get it over meatball?
Yeah, to see him get 3 outs.
Hell yeah, this is awesome. I love when position players pitch.
Okay, Westy, your bestie.
Jamie, good news for you. One of your favorite new things is I just realized there's a new feature on Baseball Savant.
What's that?
They're tracking swords now.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Oh my
MLB
gosh.
Savant ever evolving. You want a little stat for you? Just because it includes a great old timey baseball name, and then I'm going to tell you about some of our friends here at Bet365. And you really could have made some easy money today betting the Astros. So Taijuan Walker, this is courtesy of Paul Casella for MLB.com.
I saw this.
Taijuan Walker, 6 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, 13 hits, 0 Ks. Prior to Walker, the 2 most recent Phillies to allow 13-plus hits and not record a single strikeout, Blix Donnelly in 1948.
Yeah, that's a real person.
Great name, Blix.
Good old Blixie.
Yeah. And then the real reason I bring this up, Boom Boom Beck in 1943.
These dudes had some ridiculous nicknames.
Why are people named the most ridiculous things back
So
in the
anytime
day?
you get in the history books next to Boom Boom Beck, it's a good day.
Boom Boom Blix and Taiwan.
And you know what today is? Because I have a friend there who's with his parents. It's the elderly stroll the bases.
Oh, I like that.
So imagine having to sit around in this god-awful heat, waiting to take your parents out to stroll the bases, and you have to sit through this to get
Taiwan
there.
You think any of them have anything
to
left
the
in their
Walker.
arms? They would need some innings.
Maybe Boom Boom Beck's in the stands. But yeah, Boom Boom Beck isn't ordinary. And I can tell you before we head directly into this post game that betting with Bet365 is never ordinary. And today, betting against the Phillies was just a smart bet to make. And Bet365, because things are never ordinary there, they have one of the greatest things going in sports betting, and that's their early payout offers. In Major League Baseball, if the team you bet on goes up 5 runs at any point in the game, they'll cash you out right then and there. You don't even have to wait for the game to go final. So let's see. The Astros went up 5-0 in the, what was that?
Fourth?
5th inning, I think, maybe 4th. Either way, if you bet the Astros today, boom. Money's in your account by the end of the game. You could go double down then on the Astros team over because they probably hit that. But it's never ordinary at Bet365. They perfected and pioneered live in-game betting. They are awesome. And right now with Bet365, every sport should be epic. New customers can get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 by using the code PHLY365 at sign up. Deposit $10 and claim your offer. Download the app, use code PHLY365 when you sign up, and check out our boosts to see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, you can call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, well, I know you guys are in the chats getting all your frustrations out.
Today's a laugher. Everybody just kind of chuck it up.
35 and Bailey Andrews, you guys are furious. Linda, Marshawn,
this is funny.
You're furious, and I understand because it's tough when you see something that you feel like is the wrong choice. But you know you can always make the right choice. That's with our friends over at Rite Aid. And with Rite Aid, they have you covered. This time of year, you might be dealing with some fall allergies. Maybe it's because of dust mites, different plants such as tumbleweed, pigweed, sagebrush, you know, all the plants we apparently know very well, as well as pet dander and fur for all of you with adorable cats and dogs. When you have those fall allergies and they cause the allergic reactions that you're dealing with, of your body releasing histamine to try to fight off the allergens, and now you have the runny nose, the sniffles, the sneezing, the watery eyes. We know all those symptoms sadly too well. You want to make sure you're taking advantage of your allergies and getting covered with our friends over at Rite Aid. They've got Rite Aid rewards for you, but they send you emails. You can sign up at riteaid.com/rewards, receive those pollen alerts, as well as other updates such as showering often, keeping your windows closed, making sure that you are wearing a protective mask if you're out gardening or something like that. They have lots of tips for you and lots of solutions, even with their over-the-counter medication. Options for you like their nasal rinse and different sprays. And with Rite Aid, they also have the pharmacist that can help answer any questions you may have, support you, and make sure they can point you in the right direction. So from their allergy medication to their hydrating, refreshing drinks like coconut water, to their snacks and pantry items, Rite Aid is a great stop for you, one necessary for whatever you're looking for to make the right decision with all the convenience with our friends over at Rite Aid to take care of all the little things and big things you may need to figure out. So, that being said, as we are here at PHLY Phillies podcast presented by Bet365, the game is coming to an end officially. There's already 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. The Phillies are about to get shut out by the Astros unless something can change.
Wave the white flag here.
Well, this is where it comes into should there be a mercy rule at some point? Should there be a way? I know
there should be like a ceremonial walk up and you just drop your bat across the plate and lay it down. You know how you fold in chess when you just lay your guy down? Rob Thompson should come out with the bat and just lay it down over the plate.
I'm
just
done.
be we're done here.
Well, I know somebody in the chat earlier was mentioning Rob should have just rolled out a lineup of what was it?
There's Bohm with a little base knock to right field.
Yeah, Marshall was just saying Topper should have just sat everybody out today. You almost knew going into this, it didn't matter what the offense did. It didn't matter what anybody did. With Taijuan Walker pitching it was going to be a bad,
It was going
bad
to be an
day.
L.
It was
So
gonna be
that's
a bad
9
day.
straight
So now
starts
we're done.
that they've
Yes.
just lost that he was on the mound for.
Correct.
Yes, you can't continue to throw this guy out.
So
It's
Taijuan
over.
Walker was meant to be an innings eater, and with his 9th straight loss starting for the Phillies, he is not an innings eater. He is just giving up home runs. He's giving up runs, and that is what led us to a 10-0 loss. Welcome into our
Boom, back.
PHLY Phillies post-game show officially now. It is not a victory post-game show. It could be a small win if it leads to the DFA of Taijuan Walker possibly. But this team...
I'm laughing at Absolutely Hammered's tweet. Tyler, I'm going to share it with you so we can screen share it and all have a laugh together.
Oh, gosh. So there's been, as you were talking about, the history made by Taijuan Walker to join Boom Boom Beck and Blix Donnelly. Taijuan Walker. Also, it's the most hits a Phillies pitcher has allowed since Aaron Harang in 2015.
Yep.
The first time as a Phillies starter that a starter was able to go 6 innings without a strikeout since Ben Lively in 2017. And Taijuan did throw first pitch strikes to 20 of the 28 batters he faced, but Taijuan was not able to get a single K. When you look at the fact that he is literally costing games for the Phillies at this point, and you can't get anything out of him, 18 runs in 15 and a half and 2/3 innings at one point. A guy that you're spending a lot of money. He's got $36 million that he's owed in 2025 and 2026, and he is an automatic L.
Yeah.
An automatic L whenever we know Taijuan Walker stepping up. Jordan Alvarez with 3 home runs on the day. Spencer Arrighetti was closing it on a no-hitter and a complete game. They did get the shutout, but you can't. We knew Taijuan Walker was not going to be a pitcher that we would see in the playoffs. We didn't see him last year in the playoffs. We didn't expect him to be someone we'd see this year in the playoffs. But now with 30 games remaining, or was it 29 now, remaining in the regular season.
6 starts you got to cover up.
6 starts. I think
Band-Aids.
the best thing for the Phillies is the fact that Taijuan Walker was on the IL twice this season. He missed significant amount of time, which allowed you to have to work through it without him. And now with 6 starts that you need for a 5th starter, you can have Colby Allard. You can piecemeal that. I want to talk about Michael Mercado at some point too. I'm going to put a note there because I don't want to see him either. But you can piecemeal enough where you don't need Taijuan Walker. Yes, it sucks, that $36 million number, but you don't need Taijuan Walker, especially if he's going to be a guaranteed loss. For a team that is top in baseball, you can't have somebody disrupting the winning. Because as Nick Castellanos was saying after yesterday's great win, he was saying, anytime you win, it's nice. Everyone relaxes a little bit. The media chills out. The coaching staff relaxes. Everyone's grip loosens up a little bit. It's easier to drive a car when you're not squeezing onto the steering wheel with all your might. This stuff is contagious. Like, everybody knows Taijuan Walker is not doing well. And you can easily say, oh, that's just Taijuan, guaranteed L. But the vibes, as we talk about through the clubhouse, of a winning team.
John Krok's favorite term.
A winning team, you can't have an automatic L. You're going to lose games. You're going to have games where, Alec Bowman struggled at times, and we know Bryce struggled at times, and Trey has struggled. But you can't have a guarantee player that's going to, every time he steps out there, it's going to be bad things.
Yeah, this was it. Because it would be literally, I have to watch my tongue now because we're starting a curse jar. Effing insane.
I feel like that should still, like you're still cursing.
Well, yes and no.
You owe like half.
Yeah, that's like
whatever
a quarter
the rule is,
instead of
you
a
owe
dollar.
half.
I don't even.
Okay.
It would be insane to send him back out at this point. Since returning from the IL, I think I just saw Todd Zalecki tweeted 9.12 ERA.
Yeah, it's been bad.
You just can't do that. They already kind of assumed they were going to eat the 2 years 36 after this. What's a little icing on top there? It's over. 6 starts. Colby Allard can give you 2 or 3. Maybe you see a Seth Johnson for 1. The real thankful thing, or at least grateful thing here, is that Ranger was able to return. Mm-hmm. Because if Ranger wasn't able to return, I don't think you could do it for 12 starts.
Yeah.
So thank God Ranger's back and looks healthy. 6 starts you got to cover. I think you can do that. Through some combination of Tyler Phillips, Colby Allard. I know Mercado didn't look great today, but he's potentially an option for a bullpen start. I would think it would be insane if Taijuan Walker is still on this team tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
I think he's done, and he's probably going to pack up his locker today. I was going to
say, and I feel like after the 5th, it was even that conversation of like, listen, buddy, we just need you to go out there and throw one more inning. Leave it all out there. Enjoy this moment. It could be the last.
I'll be honest, it was kind of sad to watch.
It was very sad to watch because I know we had talked about it prior to the broadcast. It just shouldn't have even gotten to this point with Taijuan Walker.
Well,
like, we continuously have seen him progressively get worse.
You did because of the money. He had to force your hand, though.
I hate to say this, but I still feel like Taijuan was never going to give you anything good. Like, we knew that. We knew, especially
last year he was an innings eater.
Especially once we saw how well the first 4 were pitching. But I do feel like when he returned back from the IL the first time around is where that was like the icing on the cake. Because his numbers, when he came back from that first IL stint, from like the first start he made to the final start he made before the blister, was progressively going from like a 3 ERA to like a 5.6 ERA. And now to be to this point, as you mentioned, Jamie, you're at like over a 9 ERA.
It's a 9.14.
Yeah, and it's only he's actually just getting worse as the season goes on. And now it's so mental. It's so like he just needs to be done. So I don't love Michael Mercado either. And to see Michael Mercado go out, you give up a home run. You give up, you hit, launched one at the helmet. Michael Mercado.
And then got shelled by Yordan Alvarez
again.
And
the thing about Michael Mercado is when you look at his numbers coming into this, when they first called him back up, Michael Mercado has been bad, obviously. So in his 4 games, he made the 2 starts in his first stint. We, of course, saw him then get moved to the bullpen. So in his first 4 games with the Phillies, but from that major league debut, June 24th, he went 1-2 with a 9.26 ERA, and he gave up 12 runs in 11 2/3 innings. And he did get 1 win on his career, his first career start, July 2nd, which was we saw the nice bullpen game for him and the nice start where he was able to pitch 5 innings. For Michael Mercado, he hasn't been able to give you anything. Tyler Phillips is another one that I don't like that option. I think I'd rather try Seth Johnson. I'd rather definitely even Colby Allard. I feel confident in for a couple more.
So some names you'll hear. Obviously, competent Colby Allard is going to get some cracks at it because he's kept the Phillies in contention to win in 4 straight starts. Tyler Gilbert, these are just guys on the 40-man that over 6 starts you might get a look at. Junior Marte is still down in the minors on the 40-man. Tyler Phillips, Michael Rucker. Freddie Tarnock, who I don't think is a real person, and Kyle Tyler. So those are the pitchers on the 40-man roster that you might bring up and down and yo-yo around. The roster expansion, I would imagine Allard probably just gets a full-time crack at this until proven otherwise. But as we've talked about with him, he's kind of a junk baller. There's a little bit of playing with fire with him.
Yeah.
So he very much could get shelled one of these next starts as well. But I feel fully confident thinking that was the last time we saw Taijuan
It just
Walker.
sucks because with all these names we talk about, Spencer Turnbull would be the solution. Spencer Turnbull as that fifth starter.
Do you have the update on him? He did throw from 90 feet.
He would be the solution. I know they were saying they won't really have time to stretch him out to be a starter.
No, he'd
be a bullpen arm.
He's a bullpen arm,
But think about we knew the concerns and worries about his injury history and that there was a high percentage chance he was not going to be able to be a starter or even a consistent, healthy pitcher for you. But it's so sad because given how well he was pitching, that would be an easy solution. If he was able to start for you, and even if it was a situation where you get Colby Allard for a couple starts and then Spencer Turnbull was ready for the, final stretch of the regular season, that you have him when you go into the playoffs, that he's a potential if you need it for a starter or a bullpen arm. But Spencer Turnbull just hasn't been able to stay healthy.
Yeah, he threw from 90 feet, yesterday or was it today? I think it was his first time, but they said, as you mentioned, it's bullpen only. They're not going to have time to build him back up to a starter, but he is throwing from 90 feet, which is encouraging. He'll be here. Look, today was a day of guys that aren't going to hurt you in the postseason.
Yeah, that's the way you have to look at
Taijuan
it.
won't be here. Michael Mercado won't be here. That'll be like a Spencer Turnbull spot. So it was what it was. It was just kind of like, at one point, Rob Thompson just said, "Yeah, this is a loss, and I'm not gonna waste guys, and I'm gonna set myself up for the weekend and So, don't take this one too hard today, Phil's fans. Like, it's just one of those games you kind of have to laugh at a little bit. I mean, I was over here cheering for Spencer Arrighetti to get a no-hitter. Because if you're going to be down, you might as well be down bad. Kick me in the ribs on the way out. I don't care.
Well, it is something. I know you guys are in the chat frustrated that you don't
wear this one today. Don't let it affect your day.
Just an absolute glutton for punishment over there, Jamie. Why don't you just
at some
punch
point
me in the head? Kick,
at some point you're down in the gutter anyway, and you're bleeding, and you're short of breath. Might as well give me one more kick on the way out.
Oh my gosh, so morbid.
It's not like it hurt.
Throw a trash can at me on the way out.
Whatever. You're gonna drop a people's elbow on me, whatever. You can't hurt me anymore.
Okay, this is just lovely.
I'm already
Very morbid
dying
of
down
you.
here.
It was the Phillies were out here 18-3 in the finale.
Thank you, Taijuan Walker.
They're now 5.5 games ahead of the Braves, but it's not something to lose sleep over because at the end of the day, we aren't talking about guys that'll be there on the playoff roster. We are talking about players that you just need right now just to be able to stretch out the starting rotation, but it's not something to lose sleep over. No. And if you are losing sleep, let's say you're dealing with some snoring or you're dealing with some issues at home, sleep apnea, our friends at Sleep Healthy PA can help you with that. They're committed to helping all Philly residents stop the snore and find solutions to sleep apnea. Dr. Andrew Cohen and his team, he's board certified in dental sleep medicine. They work with you very closely, one-on-one, to provide first-class care that meets your needs, give you solutions, realistic solutions to help you stop the snore. And they also want to make sure you're dealing with a great night's sleep, and you know that you have options even around your CPAP machines. CPAP machines are not great. They are difficult to sleep with. They're uncomfortable. They're not the most attractive, but they're also just make it so difficult as you're trying to get a good night's sleep. They can be loud. They can be clunky. And so with Dr. Andrew Cohen and his team, they're going to provide you a chance to get educated, get options, and get resources. They are going to give you, when you let them know that us at PHLY sent you, 15% off of your initial workup. It's a 2-hour initial exam. The first session provides you a chance to give them an update on what your medical history is, do some imaging, just gather some information. The second session, they're going to review those results and share some recommendations. So with our friends over at Sleep Healthy PA, you don't have to have those restless nights where you wake up the next day feeling like you barely got a good night's rest, feeling like crap. You can try to improve your sleep, which also improves your health. So today, if you're experiencing sleep apnea and are looking for a custom solution to stop the snore, reach out to Dr. Andrew Cohen at sleephealthypa.com or call 215-337-2501. Let them know that us at PHLY sent you. Get 15% off of your sessions. And again, that's Dr. Andrew Cohen at sleephealthypa.com.
$1 beer, $1 hot dogs. That's going to be us tomorrow. Maybe me to you at Top Tomato in Center City. And let me just tell you a little bit about what we're going on here at PHLY. If you're a diehard, you can get, 1, some free merch, 2, access to some of the best writers in the city, 3, discounts to events, and tomorrow's is free. But the Eagles, kickoff party next Friday night at the Tradesman, you get 20% off that. I think it's $35 or $40 a ticket, and it gets you unlimited buffet plus 3 drink tickets. It's going to be a fun night. Hopefully you can hang out with us for the Birds kickoff, but tomorrow night's a free event, so you don't even need a discount code for that. Just RSVP on the website, allphly.com/events, as we say goodbye to a friend. And then we're giving away seats in section 115 to an upcoming game. I sat in these seats last night, and they are tremendous. So RSVP on the events tab at allphly.com. Hopefully you can come join us at Top Tomato. We're going to be giving away tickets, some memorabilia. All you have to do is RSVP to be eligible for those, plus $1 Miller Lights and $1 hot dogs all night. But if you want to support us here at PHLY, consider becoming a diehard today. I promise you, it's worth it. You also get an invite to our Discord where everybody gets to lose their minds collectively. The Flyers Discord, those people are nuts.
Yeah,
the Phillies
different.
Discord,
they're built very different.
It is very, very high highs, very low lows. People are kind of losing their mind in there a little bit right now, Renee.
All right, well,
included, and let me show the Absolutely Hammered because it's in our Discord,
yes.
And I shared it with Tyler. This is pretty funny. Taijuan Walker, this is how we'll remember you by. Scheduled loss, 99 jersey, Taijuan Walker. Thank you, Absolutely Hammered, for the chuckle there.
Oh man, listen, this is a therapy session here on PHLY Phillies presented by Bet365, where it's never ordinary at Bet365. It's crazy because last night was such a great night, and we haven't had a chance to talk about
last
it with
night
you.
was awesome.
But last night was so awesome.
Aaron
and then
Nola
here
was a
we are.
beast.
You look at last night with Aaron Nola's performance. He's now 12-6 with a 3.30 ERA. 17 of his 27 starts have been quality starts, and we needed this from Aaron Nola. We talked about it yesterday. He's a guy that we've seen the ups and downs.
That was a big one for him,
We've seen the ups and downs of Aaron Nola. We remember last year, August and September, what that was like for him, and even just the moments of not really feeling confident with Aaron Nola. And to have 7 shutouts, scoreless innings, to have a chance, and he was mentioning post-game how, the game just got easier. He started getting ahead in the count. He was getting quicker outs. Him and JT had been talking a lot about, at the end of the day, what he should be doing, but he knows he just has to pitch. He doesn't want to change his pitch for whoever he's going up against. He just wants to know himself as a pitcher and lean into what he does best. And last night, he was fantastic. It was tremendous to see Aaron Nola go out there and really have a big play, big performance, I should say. There were some turning points that I think of, like Trey Turner had that incredible catch that he made. It would have been fifth inning, and that was like a turning point that the Astros had. I think it was like 2 on at that moment, and it was a chance to maintain the lead, possibly give up a run. They had Bregman and Alvarez right there in that situation. And so you like that Aaron Nola got some support from his team in that play, like a Trey Turner made, but also just was Dyson was fantastic. And you needed that. You needed this starting pitch in a reset. We obviously have Ranger Suarez back, which is huge, but you also just needed the starting pitching. It's Aaron and it's Ranger that we needed to get back to that 6-7 consistent start of an inning, 6-7 innings, in their starts. And to be able to help the bullpen not have to be overused, help the team make sure, and as Aaron said, you set them up to win. When you go out, you do your job, you're setting your team up to win. You're making them more confident. Now when they step up to bat, it's a scoreless game for the Astros versus you're trailing and you're down by a run or 2 or 3. So Zach's been giving us that. Sanchi's been giving us that. We wanted and asked for more from that of Aaron Nola, and last night was such a vibe. Such a great game.
Are you allowed to say that?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to say it.
Should we ask John Kruk?
No. John Kruk would also say I'm allowed to say it because he likes me. So he would say, yes, you can say it.
Last night was a big one for Nola. Rob Thompson basically said it after the Wheeler start in game 1. He was like, yeah, this was a big one because it was about keeping that momentum going there. And Nola, famously, if you talk to there's a lot of Phillies fans that aren't in love with Aaron Nola. They always bring up his negatives and ignore the positives. And he can be a great pitcher in this league. And that was an opportunity where you're like, hey, dude, you're paid buco bucks here.
Correct.
Let's keep this rolling and win a series versus a really tough team because you certainly didn't want to go into game 3 tied 1-1, and then you have Taijuan Walker on the mound, and you go, well, there's another series loss. So that was huge by Nola. A couple hard hit balls last night that I thought off the bat because we were at a great vantage point. Thank you, Vince. And there was a couple hard hit balls that off the bat I was like, oh, that's gone, and then it just kind of died down in the outfield. But he battled. He came back out in the 7th. He was spectacular last night. So the team really needed that. That was a good. That was a good shot in the arm from Aaron Nola to get a series win versus, a division-leading team and a very good team that is probably going to be back in the ALCS again because they are vampires and they never die.
Yeah, it is remarkable because what we're seeing now is slowly the things that we've been frustrated by with the Phillies are slowly coming together. Nick Castellanos, again, was great last night with his 3-run homer.
Great quote by him.
Which one?
Well, where he's just like, yeah, I just don't really go up there with an approach and just try to hit the ball. And I'm like, yeah, we've literally been screaming that all year. Like, you're the type of hitter. Please shut your mind off and just attack the ball. Like, that is you. You are that. So it's good to see him. He got a curveball from Verlander there, and he crushed it. So that was great to see. And, when he's on and playing well, his interviews are hilarious.
Oh, because he's never going to give you this excitement. He's never going to give you anything that's like rah-rah and like, oh, I did amazing. It's just very like, yeah, I mean, I saw the ball, I hit the ball. Like, it's very dry. But his 18th of the season with that. And for Nick, he's been that consistent guy. The numbers actually that he's had. So the Phillies, of course, we know the slumps. We know the struggles that they've had as of recent that they're working through. But Nick Castellanos has not been slumping. He's been doing a great job. He's seeing a higher rate of non-fastballs than any hitter in baseball this season. And Nick Castellanos hasn't been flailing. He has been really consistent. He's also been doing a good job of just staying in his swing. And so it's great to see that Nick Castellanos continues to be someone that's grinding out great at-bats for the Phillies that you can count on and that is going to give you something good.
Yeah, I think he's seen the most breaking balls in baseball since the All-Star break. And, I'm sure there was an approach last night thinking in that count from Verlander, I think it was 2-2 if I'm not mistaken, that, hey, I'm probably going to get, a breaking ball here. And he sat on it, got it, and crushed it. So, great job by him. Unfortunately, the bats today were back to being, I can't curse, poopy.
Poopy for sure. Bryce Harper's another one that's been coming out of his slump. He was 8 for 20 coming into tonight with 4 doubles, 2 walks over his previous 5 games. The offense was not there today at all. So we're just going to take that for what it is. That's been 4 wins in the last 5 games. And so it is what it is. Thank you, Taijuan Walker. But for positives, this is the number I wanted to say. Nick Castellanos in that stretch for the Phillies where they lost 16 of their first 27 games at the All-Star break. Nick did have a 310 and 100 at-bats over that span, 11 doubles, a triple, 3 home runs, and 15 RBIs. And last night we saw him again with a 3-run homer. He has been that guy. So listen, when you have slowly the pieces coming together, Aaron Nola gave us a great performance last night. Ranger Suarez returns. Today was just a blip. It was just a blip. You had the Astros came out, Spencer Arrighetti to even Mauricio Dubon's amazing catch that he made to help protect what was the no-hitter for Spencer Arrighetti at that time. Like, Astros, you took advantage, jumped on a really bad Taijuan Walker, and were able to avoid the sweep. But the Phillies now, here's an update for you in series numbers. This could have been their 11th sweep. Didn't happen. But they have now won 22 series in their 44 series so far. So half of the series they've played in this season, the Phillies have won. They've been swept once. They've split a series 7 times, lost 15 times.
Coward series. They shouldn't split any series ever. Stupid Major League Baseball. Yeah, it's fine. I do think they're fine. Like, this is nothing to carry over into the Atlanta series at all. This is now a really big series as we look ahead, a little bit to the Braves series. This can kind of Heisman pose them away from you. You can stiff arm them into, the division being over and start looking at magic numbers a little bit if you can take, and again, this is a 4-game Coward series.
It's your favorite.
So, the chances of them going 2-2 are probably pretty high.
Would you take 2-2 though over... Obviously,
over
losing.
1-3, yeah.
Like,
but you'd love to see for them to really keep it rolling here. A 3 taking 3 would be tremendous.
That would be so nice.
And you're missing Chris Sale, who I believe is pitching tonight. So no real. That's not a good lineup right now. I know you struggled against.
Time, I know, and went out there and
but
scored
it's not,
1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs.
The bats are now back. At the time in Atlanta, they weren't really back
but
yet.
They were also
they were warming up a little bit.
The hard part was it was the Nationals they were warming up against. So we took that with a grain of salt because it was like game 2 against the Marlins behind the grand slam by Schwarber, and then it was the Nationals. So we weren't really encouraged by it. But after the Royals and even this Astros first 2 games of the Astros series, it does feel like the offense is warming up again. Yeah. But it also makes me annoyed because I feel like regardless how the Phillies are doing, regardless, they could be on a tear. They can be awful. I feel like when they go up against the Braves in the regular season, they just turn into a pumpkin. But hopefully that changes the series.
Yeah. You want to hear an amazing Yordan Alvarez stat to make a sharp right turn? This is courtesy of Sarah Langs today, and obviously he had 3 home runs in the game. That's pretty good, Renee.
Very good.
So the most multi-home run games in their first career 610 games. Want to take a guess where Yordan Alvarez falls on this list?
Hold on. Say that again.
So most multi-home run games in their first 610 games.
Okay.
I'm assuming Yordan just hit 610 is why that was the qualifier.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So you want to take a guess where he falls on the list? There's some all-timers on this list.
6th?
I don't know if you can see my tweet.
I'm not looking.
Thank you, Sarah Lang. This is a good one.
Wait, it's a 10. He's 4th.
600. He is second.
Wow.
Today was his 606th game. Yordan Alvarez has 20 multi-home run games. First place, Ralph Kiner with 24.
Wow.
Willie Mays with 19 in third. Yeah, he's pretty famous. Aaron Judge tied with the Say Hey Kid
he's pretty
at
good
19. Too. And Todd Helton also with 19 games. So Yordan Alvarez now second all-time in multi-home run games in that qualifying period.
Thank you, Taiwan and Michael.
Yeah, like
so you've got Hall of Famer at 1, Hall of Famer at 3,
future Hall of Famer at 4,
and Hall of Famer at 5. Yeah, you're pretty good company.
Yeah. It's a pretty good list to be a part of. So Yordan Alvarez, good at baseball.
Okay.
Wasn't so great last night because Nola handled him, but he went out there to batting practice today with Michael Mercado and Taijuan Walker, and you saw how good these guys are when you're not up to snuff as a pitcher.
We know Yordan hits bombs, right?
Yeah.
But the skill set that Yordan Alvarez possesses that I think is his best skill set, hold on, I know what you're looking for. There you go.
Boy.
That I think is his best skill set.
Wait, all you.
His line drive capability is far more dangerous to me than anything else. Like his ability to hit hard, screaming line drives to all facets of the field, that's what makes him such a dangerous hitter. Everything that comes off his bat feels like it's an explosion. Like,
because it is.
Consistently 98, 100, 102. Like
the top two hardest hit balls today were Yordan Alvarez, 109 and 107.
It's not a surprise.
Yeah.
Like and he can hit to all three sides, like all three phases of the field. He has no issue going opposite field. He goes gap to gap. He's good at pulling the ball. Like the ball that he hit today, he let get in on him. The one home run, one of the 3, he let get in on him.
His spray chart on MLB Savant
it's
is all over. Yeah,
I don't even need to look at it. I know that it's like it's about as spread as it could possibly be.
Yeah, he's good at the baseball.
I know Jackie Moon is saying stop blaming Mercado. The game was over the second Walker stepped up. I'm not blaming him for the loss. I just don't think he pitched well. Like I think that both of those things can be correct.
He won't be on the playoff roster.
It's not his fault that they lost the game. I just think from the only time I've liked Michael Mercado was good in his bullpen debut, and then he was fine in his first start in July 2nd, but he hasn't been good the last few times we've seen him. So again, not a guy we're going to see in the playoffs, but I don't think he was good. And if we're talking about who you're going to have pitch, it's not him. But to your point, you're done.
95th percentile in run value in baseball.
Oh my!
4th in on the base path.
Yikes!
Value.
Alvarez is?
Yeah.
Oh my!
He's not good on the base path.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Base running run value.
I thought you were saying he's fourth in the league.
Oh, no,
and I'm like, wait,
4th
what?
percentile. Of,
That's bad.
It's bad. 95th in batting run value, 4th in. So the duality of man.
Yeah.
Can't be great at everything, Jamie.
No, got it.
Unless you're like Mookie Betts or Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge. Did you see the catch Aaron Judge made last night or 2 nights ago? Oh my God. AL MVP. Just give me the award.
Just give it now.
Sorry, Bobby Witt. You're having an incredibly great historic year. You'll probably get an MVP at some point, but Aaron Judge
not now. Aaron is like, this is mine.
Yeah.
He's also doing the Heisman stiff arm. Like, this is mine to win. I'm not blowing this one. But yeah, it's remarkable. I do feel like when you look through the Phillies, to shift gears back.
We have to talk about them.
I know. We have to talk about that. To shift gears back, you have JT looks like he's good. It was great he got a day off today also because now he's also primed to be able to play every game of the 4-game series versus the Braves. So another positive with him having the day off today.
They might give him Sunday. What's the schedule Monday? Are they on the road?
No, they're off Monday.
They're off Monday.
Right.
You talking about this Monday coming up? They're off Monday.
He should be good to go. And what makes it better, this is the stretch.
I still wouldn't be surprised to see him play.
This is the final part of the stretch. So it's the 4-game series versus the Braves. On Monday, the Phillies are off for Labor Day. Love that for them. They are at Toronto next week. And then also after that 2-game, you're also favored, Jamie. 2-game super short series at Toronto. Then they face Miami again. So you get to this 4-game. You get to this 4-game stretch.
And then Conine can hurt us.
Oh, gosh, I know.
The new Conine.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about him either. You get through this 4-game stretch against the Braves, and you have Toronto, Miami, Tampa Bay coming up on tap. So JT feels like he's back. I think Alec's been doing a good job battling through. He's had some ups and downs lately. It feels like he's hit a little bit of a skid. But even a day like yesterday, he was 0 for, clearly frustrated, and then was able to end the game with a nice hit. So you're getting Nick's been there. Bryce has been working out. Everybody's come out of their slumps, it feels like. Rangers getting healthy. So positive times for the Phillies because they are still 5.5 games ahead of the Braves. And they are still sitting in a good spot. In terms of standings, the Dodgers have 78 wins, and so do the Phillies. So back to the top of the NL. They're there. They're clawing through the remainder of this.
I would like a top 2 seed. I mean, ideally that 1 seed would be the goal here. So, you want people coming to Citizens Bank Park. You have the best record in playoff baseball over the last 20 years there. So you definitely want to get that 1 seed, and hopefully the pesky Dodgers can bugger off here and let the Phillies slide in.
Hopefully they'll be the first team to 80 wins this weekend, since the Yankees, the Dodgers, and the Phillies are all closing in on that number. As Lynch is reminding us all, our 5th pitcher sucks, but there was a time where it was the 2nd pitcher that sucked.
Yeah.
So we're complaining about our 5th pitcher, but when you really look outside of Taijuan Walker, okay, I don't love Michael Mercado's pitching. Am I the least bit worried about Michael Mercado impacting this team? No. What do we actually think is a problem that would cost this team come playoff time, or even in this next stretch of the final stretch of the regular season? If it's Taijuan Walker as the only issue going into September, I'll take it.
Yeah, because he's not going to be on the playoff roster.
Correct.
So he's probably not going to be there tomorrow. That's got to be a pretty awkward conversation today. I mean, luckily for Taijuan, he's getting, buco bucks.
How are we reacting?
You can fire me and pay me $36 million for 2 years any day of the week. I'd be just fine. But his career, maybe somebody is bad enough to give him an opportunity again. But we might be talking about career being over. This is bad. This is bad.
Who's going to want to pick him up?
There's a lot of bad baseball
teams. There are a lot of bad teams, and there are some really bad pitching staffs out there, so somebody might pick them up.
Yeah.
But this is
Never underestimate how desperate people are.
This is also true. We've seen worse players get picked up. Bailey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm giving Topper too much credit, because he might at some point sit a starter for no reason. That is also true. But overall, the Phillies do head into a 4-game series against the Braves. We are going to be live tomorrow night with a pregame show and a postgame show at Top Tomato. You guys can hang with us. If you haven't registered yet, it's free. Go register, sign up. Even if you're not sure if you can make it, sign up, because that does enter you into being able to have a chance to win the tickets and all the different prizes that we're giving away. And you can't win those unless you register. So go register, guys, for our events. You can check that out on all PHLY. And then also make sure that you're ready to hang with us. We're going to have some Miller Lite specials, $1 dogs.
$1 beers help.
It's going to be, to have $1 Miller Lights and hot dogs. What else can you ask for? So that'll be a great way to kick off the start of this 4-game series. Down at Top Tomato with you guys, having some fun.
Yeah.
Bringing in the start of this series. And you get to hang with us. We got Jamie with his favorite picture. The game tomorrow should be a good one. And it should be something that's got playoff implications on the line. As we know, this is huge. This is probably one of the most important series that we've seen in a while for the Phillies. That's a must win.
Probably one of the most probably the most important one remaining on the year. So
I think so.
You got to start it off on the right foot. And Sanchi at home has been spectacular. Taijuan hasn't, and that's the reason they flip-flopped it. You know, and Taijuan went out there and took his lumps today and saved the bullpen for the Braves series. So all in all, they won a series. That's good. The bat stunk today. Don't think that's going to carry over. Yeah. Just one of those weird baseball days where everything's bad. But it's over now, and we look forward to the Braves, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow at Top Tomato. Going to be a good time.
Exactly. I know you guys are ready to blame Topper for a lot of things, and definitely frustrated with Rob Thompson. You have every right to be frustrated with Rob Thompson, but bring this conversation tomorrow. Maybe come hang with us in person tomorrow as we wrap up, so we can continue talking through the Phillies. It is going to be fine, guys. Don't worry. This is one that you had to get out to make sure that you can have a matchup with Chris Christopher Sanchez starting things off tomorrow. So we'll be previewing the Braves series tomorrow at Top Tomato Live with you. Be sure to tune in. We're going live around 6:15 prior to the game to preview the matchup, look at the series ahead, and have some fun with you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. For Tyler, Jamie, myself, Renee, it's been another interesting PHLY Phillies post-game show. Not a victory one, but we got through. It was interesting, that's for sure. Presented by Bet365. We'll see you guys next time for more here, live from Top Tomato tomorrow, 6:15. See you then.
We all silly like the mayor.